Soiled it! Soiled it! Soiled it!
What happened? On everything, what happened? Y'all went from making one of the best episodes of The Last of Us to arguably the worst episode in the entire series. What happened on everything? I need to know.
Hold it!
I'm sorry? I'm getting ahead of myself. What's happening, everyone? Today we're here to talk about The Last of Us Season 2, Episode 3, and how this is probably my least favorite episode of the entire show. Why do I feel that way? It's because for whatever ungodly reason, they decided to take probably maybe a 10 to 20 minute segment of the game and stretch it out to over an hour.
Wait, what? I
don't know what made them do this, but it's absurd to me. So let's take things from the top and we'll go through everything that I have an issue with throughout the course of this episode, because if I'm being honest, there wasn't a single thing in this episode that I liked in the slightest bit. So starting things off with what I mean from the game. In the game, what happens is after Joel dies, Ellie and Tommy have a conversation with one another. Tommy tells Ellie that his wife doesn't want them leaving Jackson and they don't want a little army leaving because that means that the city is going to be left defenseless, which is completely reasonable. Ellie gets pissed off and tells Tommy that, why is he making excuses for why they can't go out and get Abby? And Tommy chills out Ellie and he's like, listen, I'll talk to her. I'll see if I can get a few people ready. Right? The following morning, Ellie, you see, she meets up with Dina, and you can clearly tell their plan is to not wait for anybody else. They're planning to sneak out of the city and go after Abby themselves. But then we learn through a conversation that Tommy left. Maria shows up and has a note from Tommy saying, hey, I'm going to kill Abby on my own. Don't let Ellie leave the city. I know she's planning to leave to go after Abby. I can't let her do that. I'm going by myself. Lock her up if you have to make sure that she doesn't leave. And Maria doesn't do that. She's like, I'm not going to do that because I want you to go out and make sure that Tommy makes it back safely. I want my husband to get home safely. Please, I want to see all of you again. I'm begging you. So she lets Ellie and Dina leave with a few supplies and a horse to go after Tommy and Abby. That's what happens in the game. Again, 10, maybe 20 minutes max sequence in the game. It is not very long, and I might even be giving it more time than necessary because, it's just cutscene length. There isn't really much going on here, but that's what happens in the game. Very concise, very demure. In the show, however, this is an hour-long episode for God knows what reason. Instead of just having them have a brief conversation where everything moves on and then the plot goes forward, no. We gotta have a council meeting in Jackson about this whole issue. Who asked for that? Who genuinely cares about the other people in the town of Jackson? I don't know any of these people. I don't care about any of these people. The only characters I care about are Tommy, Maria, Jesse, Dina, Ellie, and Joel. And Joel is dead, so I only care about the 5 of them. So why? Why is this important? Why do we need to see an entire trial of everyone being like, oh, well, I don't think it's a good idea about letting people leave Jackson, and I love Joel, but this would leave us defenseless, especially after the infected attack us, and, oh, you're just being a coward. Why can't we go after them? We should go after them because then they're gonna blah, blah, blah.
Alright, I get it!
I don't care about any of that. Why is this relevant to the story? Again, game, very concise, very unique, very demure, handles everything very simply. Why in the show did this need to be such a big manifestation of everything? I don't get it. This was so unnecessary. And Tommy, what is going on with Tommy? I was so excited for what happened with him at the end of the second episode. I really thought y'all was cooking with this story, the changes you made. I was seeing the vision of how crazy everything could get. But in this, what's happening with him? Why isn't he lying to Ellie about going after Abby and then just leaving already? What is this whole thing of him actually genuinely being like, yeah, listen, we're not going to go after Abby? What is up with that? Why did you change that? That's really dumb. Tommy going after Abby is something that was very crucial to the game. Now, sure, he might still go after her, but the chain of events have been changed around to the point that he seems stupid. Because now it's going to feel like Tommy is going to go after Ellie to stop her from getting killed going after Abby, when it should be the other way around. I don't understand why you changed this. This is really dumb. You set up Tommy's story to have more of an impact and more meaning of him leaving by himself to go hunt down Abby, and then you just fumbled the bag right at the end. It's like someone threw you the perfect pass with the touchdown, and then you just tripped right at the touchdown line and fell right in front of the line. Bro, what? Why? What happened? What? You guys had the blueprint. It was there. I could see the ending. And then you just said, nah, fam, we just not gonna do that. But there's even more that's really weird and annoying. You added in more depth to the bigot who called Ellie and Dina a slur? Why? Who cared about that guy? I didn't mention this in the previous video, but like there was a joke that happened between Ellie and that guy that they cut from the show.
You be safe out there.
Yep. I appreciate that.
What you got there?
Bigot sandwiches.
Smells good.
And like, it was a funny joke. I laughed, got a good chuckle out of me. In the show, you got rid of that, and then you gave him a whole plot line where he wants to help Ellie and Dina break out of the city to get revenge for Joel. Why? Who is this guy to Joel? Why do I need to care about... What made you think, you know what we need to do? We need to make this like 20-minute segment into an hour-long episode, and we need to give the bigot that hates lesbians a character arc.
Comedy gold.
I spoke to one of my friends who liked that they added the development for him, but like, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't care about this character. He's there as a plot device in the game, but not one that I needed more explanation on. It just, for me, he was just a drunk dude that said something stupid when he was blitzed out of his mind. I didn't need him to actually have depth. This isn't something I needed or cared about. Now that I have it, it's just here taking up time. It's something that shouldn't be here. Also, the issues with Ellie still feeling like she's written like a child are probably in full force in this episode. She does not feel like she does in the game at all. She feels like she does in the first game, but this isn't the story of the first game. It's the second game. Ellie's whole interaction with the doctor about how she's feeling.
How are you doing?
Fine.
If you say it that fast, it kind of implies you're not.
Okay, ask me again.
How are you doing, Ellie?
Give me a moment. It's really complicated because, you know, feelings.
Okay.
Like, what is this? Why does she sound so childish? I would have expected Ellie to have more of a stoic and reserved reaction to answering this question.
Maria wants to make sure you're eating.
She can't stop us.
But she acts like 14-year-old Ellie would if she was in the same exact situation. And it's just, why? What is going on? Seriously, what happened with this episode? Why is like everything weird and wrong here? And speaking of wrong things, why are the cultists being empathized? Seriously, these guys are psychotic people that are just here mostly to be enemies and obstacles in the story for us to fight and mow down. Right? There's nothing wrong if you wanted to add more depth, but like the information we get from Abby's side of the story where she has to deal with the cult itself, they're psychopaths. Why are we empathizing with them? Seriously, why are we empathizing with these cultists? Like, to make the wolves seem more dangerous? We already know the wolves are dangerous. Abby's a part of the wolves. Clearly, there's something wrong with that organization. So, like, why do we need them murdering these cultists to be like, damn, them guys are crazy? Especially when these cultists murder people and they keep children hostage to force them to be complicit in their cult-like activities. So much so that Abby's storyline later in the game is literally saving a child from being a part of that cult. So like, why are we humanizing these people? They're supposed to be monsters. What is the point of this? Why are we humanizing these guys? I don't know the direction they're going with this story, but like, I hope it goes somewhere good, because right now I'm just like, this is really goddamn stupid. The same way that you guys ruined the scene between Dina and Ellie. That was an incredibly stupid decision. For those of you who are show only, you don't understand how much they have butchered Ellie and Dina's relationship in this show. So you know that scene that the two of them have in the show where Dina and Ellie are having that really awkward conversation about how Dina and Jesse got back together and how the two of them kissed? Not only do they switch dialogue between the characters, but the entire scene ends in a completely wrong way. So that scene ends feeling really gross and awkward, and it makes you feel like Dina and Ellie are in like a will they, won't they, Ross, Rachel, Robin, and Ted Mosby kind of situation, but just like more uncomfortable. But in the game, that's the moment they're supposed to become a couple. Nani? So what happens in the game is that things are changed around a lot. Dina and Ellie are the ones who are on patrol before Joel dies, and they end up going to Eugene's weed cellar. While they're there, the two of them have a beautiful and cute interaction with one another. Dina finds like a mason jar with blunts in it. Ellie tries to open it. She can't. Dina tries to open it. She can't either. And then Dina just breaks it on the ground. They start chatting with each other. It's really cute. And then they start talking about their kiss because Dina brings it up. And Ellie is very insecure about herself. She clearly really likes Dina, but she just doesn't believe that Dina would feel the same way about her. So she's very reserved and she's trying to like brush away the situation until Dina pokes and prods her and makes a joke saying that she'd rate their kiss about a 6. This results in Ellie lowering her guard, and the two of them get into like a very cute, flirty back and forth with one another that ends with them hooking up for the first time and properly starting their relationship. None of that is what happens in the show, and I don't know why. Like, seriously, look at this and tell me if this feels anything like what happened in the show.
Can I ask you a question?
I don't know, can you?
Scale of 1 to 10. 1 being like absolute trash. And 10 being life altering. How would you rate our kiss from last night?
Why are we still talking about this? You said it was a mistake.
Did I say that?
What are you doing?
I asked you to rate our kiss.
I don't know.
I give it a 6.
A 6? Wow.
Like a solid 6.
Okay.
There are a lot of people around.
Yeah, but 6.
Oh, what? I mean, now I really want to know how you'd rate it.
I don't think you do.
You're infuriating.
Have you met you?
You make me want to go back outside into that blizzard.
No one is stopping you.
This better be better than a 6.
It doesn't. You can't. Don't lie to me. I know it doesn't feel the same because I've seen it. I've played it multiple times. All right? This, like, just, why? Why did you guys do this? Seriously, this whole episode is just so useless. This show has a limited amount of time to adapt this very large story. I know that this show is being broken up into multiple seasons so they can adapt more of the game's story in a more smooth and cohesive way, but right now, you are wasting time and changing up shit that didn't need to be changed in the first place. Why are we doing this? This isn't adding more depth. It's not making the story more interesting. It's just making me, someone who knows the story of the game, look at it and go, this is wrong. Why are you doing this? This isn't like interesting and cool exploration of like a what if scenario. You know, this isn't like a fun thing where it's like, hey, what if we let Spider-Man not be miserable for once? And it's like, this is a cool change. Love that, guys. No, this is just, oh, you changed the thing that was already perfect. Why? I've asked that question so many times throughout the course of this video because it's really just what this episode boils down to me. It's just a big why. Why is this episode at all? I don't get it, man. I don't get it. But yeah, that's all I have to say. I really hope episode 4 gets a lot better. So remember, folks, I'm the innocent villain. You're innocent to proven villainous. And please, for the love of God, get better. And I'll catch you in the next time. Peace.